Coming up today, another edition of the Seahawk Basketball Show featuring Takeo Siddle. We'll talk about two games up north for UNCW, highlights from Hofstra and Stony Brook. This week's Pepsi player profile, it's Riley Burkhoff, one of the fan favorites here inside Trask Coliseum. We'll also have our play of the week, the player of the week. We'll look ahead at the conference standings, the midway point of the conference season as well. And we'll look ahead, just one game for UNCW on the docket. It happens at home Thursday night. We'll talk about that matchup today. All that coming up this edition of the Seahawk Basketball Show featuring Takeo Siddle. Well, UNCW, the midway point for the Seahawks right now in conference play, stand at 16-6, 6-3 overall. Mike Vaccaro with Coach Siddle here, Takeo Siddle. And Coach, again, 6-3 right now. You're right in the mix of where you want to be in the conference standings. You got to feel pretty good about things. Again, 6-3, 4-1 on the road in the conference.
Yeah, I feel really good about where we are right now. And like I told you, Mike, those three losses that we have in conference play were much needed for this group. We're at the halfway point. I told the guys yesterday it's going to be some teams that really take off and start playing really good basketball. It's going to be some teams that stay the same. It's going to be some teams that, drop below 500 and just kind of pack it in. And I want us to prepare to be one of those teams that's ready to take off and take our game to another level. So we worked towards that yesterday. And like I said, I feel really good about where we are right now.
Well, we're coming off a trip to New York, 2 games there. Let's talk about the first one here against Hofstra. As we talked on the radio show, it's kind of who you play, but when you play them as well. They were coming off a 21-point loss. They were really focused, not to say that you weren't, but you knew you were going to get your best against a very good team in Hofstra.
For sure, and I think with us, we're still trying to figure out, especially in that first half of conference season, trying to figure out what it really takes to win those big games like that. And, we came up against a Hofstra team that was hungry for a win. It was a very meaningful game. They're one of the top teams in our league, and we played them even in the first half and in the second half. They just really put it on us. Yeah,
you see kind of the talent of someone like Aaron Estrada, even Tyler Thomas, one of the new players on that team. Those guys have big games, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're 2 elite guards. They'll have a chance to, and I know Aaron Estrada will probably be he'll probably get back-to-back player of the year in the conference. And the Tyler Thomas kid is really good. He can score the basketball. He'll have a chance to be on an all-league team. And, when you have really good guards, that can keep you in a lot of games and win you a lot of games. And they play really well.
Well, again, UNCW and Hofstra. This game last week in New York. Let's take a look at our Reed Jewelers highlights from the Max Sports Complex.
That's when they can get the ball into the paint through penetration or post-ups.
Warren Williams. And see, as tough as it's been when you're cold, again, we got a ball game here with shots like that. Their first triple, it's Harden Hayes. That's something I can get behind, right?
Of course.
Trying up by 6. Matchup for the Seahawks.
Yeah, and it's hard to get your shot attempts and your flow when you have that many empty possessions.
Harden Hayes, Malik Harden Hayes. These two teams are based on efficiency. UNCW and Hofstra, the top 2 in the CAA in field goal percentage. Hofstra at 47%, UNCW at 45% because of looks like that.
Well, UNCW again a tough setback on the road against Hofstra, 70-46 the final score. Coaches, you said, you were down 9 in the first half and you got it even at 30 in the first half. How much did that take out of your kids getting into that second half as well?
I don't know how much it took out of us. We just had to get used to the style of play. They play a different style. They're really physical, and they down you on the side with their pick and roll coverage, and we had to get used to it, the shot types, the flow of the game. And then being able to guard them with some urgency. And we got used to it, and we finished off strong. But like I said, in the second half, we got too relaxed and too complacent, and they hit too many shots. We turned it over too much, and the game just got away from us. Yeah, 16 turnovers in this game, and as you said on the radio show, again, some of it was self-induced turnovers. It was unforced errors, just being sloppy with the ball, over dribbling, not concentrating and catching the ball with two hands, dribbling into traffic, just uncharacteristic for us. But we'll clean it up. We'll be better. We'll be better moving forward. Offensively, Malik Carden-Hayes, the only one in double figures with 13 points, 5 of 7 shooting. Again, part of a really good week for him. I know you like that, but overall, the defensive effort you thought by the entire team kind of struggled in this game. Yeah, I thought we were just out there. We weren't playing to win. We were just playing to play, and our defense is what's carried us this far. We're one of the better defensive teams in this league, and everything was just way too easy for them. There was no resistance on that end of the floor. And Amari Kelly, the foul trouble he got into, 2 quick early fouls in that second half, that certainly didn't help. It didn't help. He's a guy that we rely on heavily on both ends of the floor, and when he's not out there, we're a totally different team, especially on the defensive end, and not having him out there really messed up our flow. So that was the first of 2 games in New York for UNCW, the second one against Stony Brook, a new member in the conference. We'll take a break. We'll take a look at those highlights when we return.
There will always be bumps in the road, but we got guts, America. We got freedom. We got power. We got future. So let's drive up and make the future we want to see together. Because your new Ford vehicle is just the start of a journey. So stop by your Ford dealer today and choose one of the thousands of new Ford trucks and SUVs ready for delivery. We've been building this country for 119 years, but we're just getting started.
Life-changing, life-changing, life-changing flavor. At Hardee's, no matter what you choose, it's the right choice. Because our new 4 for $6 deal lets you make your own combo. Mix and match, then feast or snack on the food you're craving, all for just $6. Combine your favorite flavors into the perfect deal with our new 4 for $6 menu, only at Hardee's.
Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs and 95 calories.
This is Mountain Dew. A rush of crisp and refreshing flavor. Delivering a bold citrus kick. Dew to Dew.
At Hardee's, no matter what you choose, it's the right choice. Because our new 4 for $6 deal lets you make your own combo. Mix and match, then feast or snack on the food you're craving, all for just $6. Combine your favorite flavors into the perfect deal with our new 4 for $6 menu, only at Hardee's.
Well, UNCW, a couple of days on Long Island. First was Hofstra, then Stony Brook, new member in the CAA this year. And Coach, the quick turnaround, is that a plus or a minus when you're coming off a setback like you had to Hofstra, trying to get right back on the floor against Stony Brook?
I think it's a good thing. It doesn't give you much time to really think about it. You have to move on. Obviously, you have to understand what put you in a position that you were in after the Hofstra game. But, with young kids, it's good for you to jump on it right away and then move on and try to help them forget about it and be better the next time out. And that's exactly what we did. I thought we played for 40 minutes. I thought we competed with a lot of toughness.
Yeah, you look at this game with Stony Brook, low-scoring first half. The defense has really shined through, but then the offense started to get going, and especially Malik Harden-Hayes in the second frame.
Yeah, he certainly gave us a big lift. You know, that was an impressive run that he went on by himself, and you know, his teammates did a great job of finding him and screening for him to get him open. And you know, he stepped up and made some big plays for us, and we certainly needed that.
Shaquem Phillips also a nice game, and we're starting to see him come back. I mean, again, he's been a little bit injured, a little banged up here and there, but really nice game for him.
Yeah, he had a really good game. And not necessarily looking at him on the offensive end. I thought he had really good flow on that end of the floor, but defensively, he had seven defensive rebounds, which was really impressive by a 6'2" guard. And, you know, defensively, he had a ton of deflections, had some steals. He was very active. And, you know, he came up with a key steal down the stretch, which is what I'm looking for from him, just to be a defensive presence out there for us.
Yeah, good bounce-back win for UNCW on the road against Stony Brook. Let's take a look now at our highlights from Saturday afternoon.
Years now under Takeo Siddle.
And it's one of those, maybe a blip in the screen. Great defense by Thomas. Picks the pocket of Kane Roberts. And there's that pressure.
A junior transfer from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. He's into the lane, kicks out Phillips. Good convergence by the Stony Brook defense, but not good enough. Has none.
Well, we talked about it. Stony Brook needs to establish another score, and so far it has been that man, Fitzmaurice.
The answer not there, but the rebound and putback is. That way, both with 0 points in that first half for Gino Ford's group. Quick triple, Harden-Hayes, it's an answer. Phillips still going. Around the arc it revolves again to Malik Harden-Hayes.
Concerned UNC Wilmington hot here in the second half, from the second half early on for three. They don't want a repeat of Northeastern, and Gino Ford may need a timeout.
Amari Thomas runs the offense. It's another open look from the corner. Malik Harden-Hayes, he cannot miss. It's 4 consecutive triples. Slips by Policelli. Floater won't go. Kelly put back, not there. He's got the garbage again. Players down. Kelly, no. Third time, not the charm. It's the 4th time. And of course, it's Malik Harden-Hayes. He only scores in trios.
Defensively for Stony Brook right now.
White leading scorers, still with no points. That comes to an end. And now the offense gets moving. Poked by Policelli. It's brought over the midcourt stripe, but no backcourt violation. Unsettled defense. White. Oh, it's a putback. Who else other than Malik Harden?
Well, UNCW gets the win, 62-51, the final score. A big night, 31 points from Malik Harden-Hayes. 8 of 11 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3, made all 10 of his free throws as well. Coach, again, as we've talked about, he has become more comfortable in what his role is this year, and you're seeing what can happen in a game like this.
Yeah, he works really hard too, Mike. He's out there right now shooting. You know, he's a guy that's an everyday guy, a guy that is very coachable, has a positive attitude. You know, he's a team guy. So when you prepare yourself every day, you're going to explode at some point and have a big night like that. And he's had several of those over the course of the season, and we definitely needed it against Stony Brook.
Yeah, 25 of those points coming in the second half for Harden Hayes. 10 points, 8 rebounds, as we talk about for Shaquem Phillips. That was a career high for him. And then 8 points, 9 rebounds for Amari Kelly. Pretty steady night. So, again, you see from Amari Kelly's standpoint what can happen when he stays out of foul trouble. Certainly he's a huge factor on this team, not only offensively but defensively.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at his numbers over the last few games, you know, he's been rebounding at a high level. He's been getting steals, deflections, blocks. You know, he's been all over the place. And I always tell these guys, just focus on your defense. Make sure that you're competing on that end of the floor, and then offensively, things will happen for you. Good things will happen for you. So that's what he's been doing, and he's been very productive for us.
So UNCW, you've won now 2 of your last 3. Come back home for a couple of games as well. It must be nice to be back in Trask after, again, a kind of a road-heavy first half of conference play.
Yeah, I think we're very excited. You know, to have 5 of our last 9 games at home is important. I think the 3-game stretch that we had here, you know, was really taxing on our guys emotionally. And I think it was good for us to get away for a little while and be able to reset on the road and then come back home. I think we'll be more focused this time around and ready to play some good basketball.
We'll talk about that home game a little bit later on. Right now, we'll take a break. When we get back, our Pepsi player profile. It is Riley Burkhoff. One of the walk-ons on this team, a fan favorite here in Trask Coliseum. We'll have his profile next.
People have trusted Reed's Jewelers with their life's moments since 1946. That's because we're family-owned. We treat everyone who walks through our doors or visits our website as a part of our family. We have a beautiful selection of jewelry and watches for any occasion. We offer free shipping and returns, as well as multiple payment options to make sure you find the perfect gift. See why people have trusted Reed's Jewelers to celebrate their life's moments for over 75 years.
Game day at Walk-Ons is just different, and it starts with the way our teammates prep each dish from our scratch menu. No shortcuts. We are hand cutting every single mozzarella log straight from the block, hand peeling, stuffing, and bacon wrapping each voodoo shrimp, hand carving ribeyes for our steaks and po' boys, and hand slicing, then tossing our boneless wings and our house-made sauces. With wall-to-wall TVs and food like this, why would you want to watch anywhere else? That's game day, the Walk-Ons way.
Hi, I'm Dr. Chad Fortune with Wilmington Health Orthopedic and Sports Medicine. Excited to be on the UNCW campus today to talk to you about this week's Medical Minute. Shoulder injuries are extremely common in sports, recreational, and job-related activities. These injuries can range from chronic overuse injuries to traumatic injuries like shoulder separations, dislocations, and even rotator cuff tears. Sometimes injuries can be prevented, but sometimes with traumatic injuries they are not preventable. But we always talk about preventative strategies to try to limit their effects. One of the biggest things to consider is rotator cuff strength as well as upper back strength, in addition to good posture throughout your day. As always, if these symptoms persist, please come see us at Wilmington Health Orthopedic and Sports Medicine. Our goal is to support you with easily accessible world-class care for all your orthopedic and sports medicine needs.
Preparing for the big game, athletes practice countless hours year-round. Then, it's game time, and their fans get to see the results, cheering on their team to a win. At Coastline Insurance, we're working hard behind the scenes, preparing for when you need us, because we want our customers to be our biggest fans. Let Coastline Insurance shop your coverage and find out why we say, when we shop, you win. Find us online at coastlineinsurance.com.
Time to introduce you to one of the members of the Seahawks for our Pepsi player profile. And this week it is Riley Burkhoff, one of the freshmen on this team. And Coach, he's a walk-on this team. And again, he's become a fan favorite in Trask Coliseum whenever he gets a chance to play here. But how'd you find him? Because, you know, again, these walk-ons are certainly very important to what you're trying to do in preparation each week.
Yeah, you know, Coach Ponder is friends with his dad. And, you know, he's wanted to come here for so long and be a part of our program. You know, he's an unbelievable young man, you know, low maintenance. He practices hard. He's got a great attitude. The guys love him. He helps us prepare for games and practice. You know, he is everything that a walk-on should be, and I'm so grateful to have him a part of our family.
Do you hear the students behind you when they're trying to get him into the game late in the contest?
Yeah, I've heard them multiple times. Like sometimes I have to tell them, not yet. Let us get a little bit more comfortable. But I certainly love to hear more. It means he's going to be will be up, and so I'll be able to play him a lot more. But you know, we love our fan base. They love Riley. You know, he's done some great things when he's got in the game, and you know, like I said, I'm so thankful to have him a part of our family.
Again, it's our Pepsi player profile. John Smith has more on Riley Burkhoff.
Welcome back, UNCW men's basketball player Riley Burkhoff joining me, John Smith. Riley, just talk about what brought you to UNCW and then your decision to try to play basketball here.
Well, growing up, basketball has been my favorite sport for a while. And it was really my grandfather who played at Columbia. He was the reason I wanted to play college basketball here. But then I've always come down to the beach, down by Riceville a lot. I've always driven by the school, and I love the campus, toured it a lot. Really just fell in love with the atmosphere of everyone. Everyone's super nice. It's really like family feeling down here.
For you, growing up in the Chapel Hill area, were you a huge Tar Heel fan? What does it mean now changing to that teal?
I was a Tar Heel fan, but it was a quick change. As soon as I decided to come here, everything Tar Heel out the window. No more Tar Heel clothes, straight teal now.
Your role as a walk-on, people say it's just a walk-on, but it's incredibly important for preparation for each and every game. How difficult is it?
It's definitely a little difficult, but I'm getting used to it now. It took a couple of weeks to get in the groove of things, but by now I'm getting more used to it. It's not too bad.
How difficult or how different is the college game from the high school game? Because most of the guys here were the best players on their high school teams. Now it's a collection of that.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different. The game's a lot faster, more physical. Everyone's a lot stronger. It's just a whole different pace that I get used to.
And that transition to that student athlete, has it taken some time, or is that something that you take pride in to make sure that you get things done in the books?
It's taken a little bit of time, but I was able to get used to it pretty quickly. I've always been kind of like a student first, athlete second, because my parents taught me growing up, so I've been able to stay in the books pretty well.
Talk about, you said it, your grandfather played at Columbia. What lessons were instilled to you when you were young?
He always taught me just like, if you love something, go full force with it, and I always fell in love with basketball since I was little, so I decided to go all in and try to play at the collegiate level.
What was his career like at the collegiate level?
To be honest with you, I'm not quite sure. He never talked about it much, but I know he loved basketball, and he played there for, I think, 2 years.
Your expectations, just starting here, where would you like to go?
I would like to just play all 4 years here, and after that, see where basketball takes me.
Well, I appreciate Riley Burkhoff with John Smith. We'll be right back.
There will always be bumps in the road, but we got guts, America. We got freedom. We got power. We got future. So let's drive on and make the future we want to see together. Because your new Ford vehicle is just the start of a journey. So stop by your Ford dealer today and choose one of the thousands of new Ford trucks and SUVs ready for delivery. We've been building this country for 119 years, but we're just getting started.
At Hardee's, no matter what you choose, it's the right choice. Because our new 4 for $6 deal lets you make your own combo. Mix and match, then feast or snack on the food you're craving, all for just $6. Combine your favorite flavors into the perfect deal with our new 4 for $6 menu, only at Hardee's.
Just like my mama said, hard times and the good way that you're born. When the world wants you to sink or swim, I ain't gonna go.
Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs and 95 calories.
This is Mountain Dew. A rush of crisp and refreshing flavor. delivering a bold citrus kick. Do-do-do.
At Hardee's, no matter what you choose, it's the right choice. Because our new 4 for $6 deal lets you make your own combo. Mix and match, then feast or snack on the food you're craving, all for just $6. Combine your favorite flavors into the perfect deal with our new 4 for $6 menu only at Hardee's.
Time now for the Flying Machine Play of the Week. It's actually 4 plays, 4 big threes from Malik Harden-Hayes from the Stony Brook game on Saturday afternoon. Let's take a look.
That way, both with 0 points in that first half for Gino Ford's group. Quick triple, Harden-Hayes, it's an answer. Phillips still going. Around the arc, it revolves again to Malik Harden-Hayes.
UNC Wilmington hot here in the second half early on for 3. They don't want a repeat of Northeastern, and Gino Ford may need a time.
Jamari Thomas runs the offense. It's another open look from the corner. Malik Harden-Hayes, he cannot miss.
Again, some big shots there from Malik Harden-Hayes, an individual 12-0 run for Malik Harden-Hayes with those 4 threes in, short time as well, Coach. And again, as you said, you weren't really drawing things up for him, but he started getting hot, and then you were trying to find a way to get him the basketball.
Yeah, like I said, Mike, that was one of the best performances that I've seen in a long time. Mike Okoro had a special one last year, but Malik, he was about as hot as I've seen anybody. And we needed it at that time because we were struggling to score. I always talked to him about getting off to a fast start in the second half, and he definitely helped us with that.
Yeah, so again, a big stretch there, our Flying Machine Plays of the Week. That brings us to our Carolina Ford Dealers Player of the Week, and we're sticking with Malik Harden-Hayes. Great numbers this week, Coach. In the 2 games, averaged 22 points, 6 rebounds, shot 72% from the field, 70% from three-point range, and made all 11 of his free throws as well to go along with that 31-point night, the career night against Stony Brook. But again, not just the threes, he's got a good mid-range game. He can get to the basket as well, and then to get to the free throw line and do what he's doing right now, boy, he's giving you just off-the-charts type of production.
Yeah, he's coming into his own. It always starts with him on the defensive end. Defensive rebounding, getting out in passing lanes. We always put him on the other team's best player. So his energy on that end ignites him on the offensive end, and he's becoming a really good basketball player. And it's like fun to watch him play. And for good players and great players, they help their teammates start to play better and give them energy. And so that's what we're looking for from him. And I know he'll do that.
And it's a different role that he had at North Dakota State where he transferred from, but he's really starting to flourish in this role of being a leader and being a guy that can go and lead a team in the scoring column.
Yeah, he's been thrusted into a different role, and I think it's more fitting for him because the way that we play, the up-tempo style, and he's able to use his athleticism. I give my guys a lot of freedom, especially if they work on their games, and he definitely does that. So he's comfortable, and when you're comfortable, you're confident, and amazing things can happen with those 2 combinations.
It certainly has this week. Again, our Carolina Ford Dealers Player of the Week, Malik Harden-Hayes. We'll take our final break, be back, take a look at the conference standings, and also a look ahead to the 1 game on the docket this week for UNCW, the Seahawks and the Monmouth Hawks coming up this week in Trask Coliseum. Stay with us.
People have trusted Reed's Jewelers with their life's moments since 1946. That's because we're family owned. We treat everyone who walks through our doors or visits our website as a part of our family. We have a beautiful selection of jewelry and watches for any occasion. We offer free shipping and returns, as well as multiple payment options to make sure you find the perfect gift. See why people have trusted Reed's Jewelers to celebrate their life's moments for over 75 years.
Game day at Walk-Ons is just different. And it starts with the way our teammates prep each dish from our scratch menu. No shortcuts. We are hand cutting every single mozzarella log straight from the block. Hand peeling, stuffing, and bacon wrapping each voodoo shrimp. Hand carving ribeyes for our steaks and po' boys. And hand slicing, then tossing our boneless wings and our house-made sauces. With wall-to-wall TVs and food like this, why would you want to watch anywhere else? That's game day, the Walk-Ons way.
Hi, I'm Dr. Chad Fortune with Wilmington Health Orthopedic and Sports Medicine. Excited to be on the UNCW campus today to talk to you about this week's Medical Minute. Shoulder injuries are extremely common in sports, recreational, and job-related activities. These injuries can range from chronic overuse injuries to traumatic injuries like shoulder separations, dislocations, and even rotator cuff tears. Sometimes injuries can be prevented, but sometimes with traumatic injuries they are not preventable. But we always talk about preventative strategies to try to limit their effects. One of the biggest things to consider is rotator cuff strength as well as upper back strength, in addition to good posture throughout your day. As always, if these symptoms persist, please come see us at Wilmington Health Orthopedic and Sports Medicine. Our goal is to support you with easily accessible world-class care for all your orthopedic and sports medicine needs.
Preparing for the big game, athletes practice countless hours year-round. Then, it's game time, and their fans get to see the results, cheering on their team to a win. At Coastline Insurance, we're working hard behind the scenes, preparing for when you need us, because we want our customers to be our biggest fans. Let Coastline Insurance shop your coverage and find out why we say, when we shop, you win. Find us online at coastlineinsurance.com.
Well, let's take a look at this week's Hardee's CAA standings. As you see, still Charleston undefeated atop the conference standings, a three-way tie for second place. UNCW in fifth place right now, coming into the second half of the conference play. But again, Coach, you're right where you need to be, basically a game out of second place right now. And again, 5 games at home, 4 on the road this second half really positions you really well.
Yeah, it does. But we have to play the games. And all we can really focus on right now is ourselves and getting better each and every day and becoming a closer team. I think that's the most important thing. And we don't really worry about the standings, don't really worry about anybody else. Just focus on getting better and becoming a closer team.
So again, that is what we're looking at going into this week's play for UNCW. Just one game, our walk-ons, what's coming up for the Seahawks. It is UNCW and Monmouth. Coach's second meeting. This was the very first game in conference play. And Monmouth, a team that's struggling, but again, it's conference play. You know not to take them lightly. Mike,
I'll tell you this. I watched a game this morning against Charleston. Watched a couple games yesterday. It's impressive that how hard he still has them playing. They play extremely hard. They're one of the hardest playing teams, and one of the toughest teams in our league, and I mean that. And that point needs to be made to our guys and hammered home. They play extremely hard and physical and tough, so it's not going to be an easy game. Yeah, Miles Foster, a leading scorer, had a double-double against UNCW back in late December. So is he the key defensively to try to shut him down? He is. They run everything through him, and we have to do it. We have to guard him as a team. He's physical on the block. They play him at the top of the key a little bit as a facilitator. He's really good on the offensive glass. But they have some other really good players, too. A couple of their freshmen really play hard. They're skilled, have great size, good guard play. Like I said, it's going to be a tough game. One of the things they do well is steals. They're among the league leaders in steals. How much is taking care of the basketball an emphasis in this game? It's the number one key for us offensively. They're still turning people over 20% of the time, forcing 14, 15 turnovers a game. And they do it because they play just like us. They're out in passing lanes. They're really physical. They bump you on your cuts, take the ball from you. Yeah, that keeps me up at night. It does. This game again Thursday night, 7 o'clock in Trask Coliseum. Certainly invite you to come out. If you cannot make it, we'll have the broadcast starting at 6:45 on Flow Sports and on 95.9 The Breeze as well. Coach, just one game. Best of luck. Thank you, Mike. Again, for Takeo Siddle, our entire crew, I'm Mike Vaccaro here. We'll see you next week. Another edition of the Seahawk Basketball Show featuring Takeo Siddle.